National Security Committee. The matter that has affected Albert Ojwang is now also a human rights issue. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm requesting with the wisdom whether also the chair, the Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and the Human Rights Committee also to be involved in this discussion, Mr. Speaker, because that committee should really be seized on what happened to Albert Ojwang Omondi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's get started.
So when we resume the official sitting of the Senate and such a request is made, I will certainly give guidance on that particular matter. Honorable, yes, Chair.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just seeking clarification. We have summoned the team that is before the House tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Now, having this deliberation, does it mean that they will not appear before the committee? We will go by the resolution of the House. Maybe we need direction on this. Thank you.
Now, Honorable Dulo, no resolution will be passed in this particular session. And whatever is going to happen in this session will only serve to input whatever the committee will be doing. So the committee should go and proceed with its sittings uninterrupted, but is going to benefit from the interaction that we're going to have in this session. Yes, Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, as a senator of Homa Bay, where the gentleman who was killed by the police comes from, I'm concerned if you're going to prosecute this like a kamkunji. Mr. Speaker, please give us the assurance that we shall go pursuant to Article 125 of the Constitution and examine the witnesses on oath. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we go the kamkunji route, we are going to get political statements. We are going to be told people hit their heads on walls, and there'll be no consequences. So, Mr. Speaker, please, you have given directions that the House has been suspended, but please, let's enforce the issue of oath. That will give some comfort to the people of Homa Bay, to the parents, to the people who are watching, and will bind the witnesses to tell us the truth and nothing but the truth, because the consequences of that will be contempt of parliament, perjury, and those are criminal offenses. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very valid. Honorable Senators, we need to start this session. We need to start the session. And just following on what the Honorable Senator for Homa Bay has said, we are here to hear nothing but the truth. And the only way we can be able to get the truth is when statements are made under oath. And therefore, Clerk, I'm told that the chairperson of IPOA is not in, but the deputy is present. Is that the position? Clerk, honorable senators, this question is to the clerk. Allow him to respond for purposes of the record. I'm informed that the chairman IPOA did write a letter indicating that he will not be in a position to be with us today, but he has sent his deputy in his stead. Before we start, kindly, clerk, administer the oath to the team, and thereafter I will call upon Senator Eddy, the mover of this business, to take to the floor. No.
From them or myself? Start from me. The speaker will advise. Okay. Yeah.
Clerk, kindly proceed to administer the oath. We will start, of course, with the CS, who is the head of the team.
Yes. Will you take an oath for affirmation? An oath. So you read this text and put your name. Your right hand will hold the Bible. And you put your hand on this one, constitution over here. Which one? This okay. Yeah. I, Onesimus Kipchumba Murkomen, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate, this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Yes, followed by the IG.
Hello, Mr. IG. Will you take an oath or affirmation? An oath you take with the Holy Book on your hand. An affirmation, you just raise your hand. Which religion do you ascribe to? I'm a Christian. You're a Christian, so you hold the Bible on the right hand, and your left hand will be in the Constitution. Just place on it, then you'll insert your name here, and read the text of the oath.
I, Douglas Kanja, the Inspector General, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. That's all.
IPOA.
Good morning. Will you take an oath or affirmation? The oath you take with the Holy Book. Are you a Christian, Muslim? Christian. All right. So you hold the Bible on your right hand, and your left hand will be on the Constitution. You will read and insert your name here and read the full text.
Except this, huh?
Yeah, the cancelled one you don't read.
Okay. I, Anne Wanjiku Mwangi, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matter before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
That's all. Thank you.
The National Police Service Commission.
Good morning. Good morning. Will you take an oath or affirmation? The oath you take with the Holy Book? Yes. Will you take the oath? Okay, so you place your left hand here. Are you, which religion do you ascribe to? Christian. Christianity. So raise the Bible on your right hand, then you hold the Bible here, then you read this text, insert your name here.
I, Edwin Kiprono Cheluket, Vice Chairperson, National Police Service Commission, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. That's all.
The DCI.
Good morning.
No, Honorable CS,
Oath or affirmation?
the DCI was not among the parties that we had invited to appear. In the event that is going to give any information to the Senate, we will allow him to take the oath. Proceed, DCI.
Yeah, good morning. So will you take an oath or affirmation? An oath. An oath. So you hold the Holy Book on the hand. Yeah. Yeah, the Quran. Okay. Yeah. So you will insert your name here and read the full text. Raise your and your left hand with the Constitution.
I, Mohammed Amin, the Director of Criminal Investigations, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before the Senate in respect of the matters before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. That's all.
Now, honorable senators, having administered oath to the parties that we've invited, I will now call upon the Senator for Migori County, Senator Eddie Okech, to take to the floor, him being the person or the senator who actually brought this matter before the House. Now, Honorable Eddie, and also to all honorable senators, let us avoid speeches. Straight to the question that you wish to get responses. Let's avoid speeches so that we avoid wasting a lot of time. And honorable CS with your team, if you get an opportunity to respond, please keep it concise, straight to the point also, so that we save on time. Honorable Eddie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on the unfortunate death of Albert Omondi Ojwang while under police custody. Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, I do rise, pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1, to seek a statement from the Committee of National Security, which now has informed this, on a matter of national concern regarding the tragic death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, who is a resident of both Migori and Homa Bay counties under police custody. And Mr. Speaker, sir, desirably so, in this statement, Mr. Speaker, I noticed that the death of Mr. Ojwang has caused widespread grief and outrage within the country. And Mr. Speaker, the late Mr. Ojwang sustained fatal head injuries while in police custody at the Central Police Station in Nairobi, following his arrest by police officers in Homa Bay County, raising serious concerns and questions about police brutality, abuse of authority, and the lack of immediate accountability by the responsible officers. Mr. Speaker, therefore, in this committee, the following should be addressed. The circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, including a detailed account of the events surrounding his fatal injury. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we would wish to know actions taken by the National Police Service and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, to investigate the incident, including whether any officers involved have been interdicted or subjected to disciplinary or criminal proceedings. And Mr. Speaker, we would also wish to know the measures the Ministry of Interior and the National Police Service are implementing to prevent police brutality and ensure accountability, particularly in handling civilians during law enforcement operations. And Mr. Speaker, two specific elements of this, if you allow me, is in this sitting, we want to be very clear on who in the eye of the minister or the CS, who in the eye of the IG are the suspects in this matter, so that in an issue of murder that has ensued, we've seen when our colleague died here, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ngondo Were, may his soul rest in peace. Mr. Speaker, the people who were termed as suspects were put in custody, and then even if investigation was going on, they did statements while in custody. Why is this different? That's a question that must be answered. And then the last one, Mr. Speaker, the IG of police informed the nation that the young man who has died, Albert, hit his head on the wall, which therefore suggested that he killed himself. It is important for this House to know and the country to know from him, where did he get this information? And now that the autopsy has been conducted that says the contrary, what has the minister done in terms of taking responsibility on those two accounts? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed. If there's some aspects that you need your team to also take to the stand, you may allow them. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am here today pursuant to your invitation to appear before this House to address this very serious matter of the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, the tragic death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in police custody has deeply pained the conscience of our nation. Parents have lost their only child, and I acknowledge this not as an isolated issue, because one life lost, Mr. Speaker, is under such circumstances like Ojwang is a life too many. Mr. Speaker, I am, as a parent, as a citizen of this republic, and as the person with the responsibility of presiding over this important ministry of government, Mr. Speaker, it is regrettable that such an act happened in our nation, particularly in the hands of the police officers. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to send my personal condolences to the family of Mr. Albert Ojwang, to his father, to his mother, to the wife, to the only child, Mr. Speaker, and the entire family, and to promise them that, Mr. Speaker, as a government official, I will cooperate, I will put every effort within my ministry to ensure that justice is served to this family, and, Mr. Speaker, that those who were involved in this action, Mr. Speaker, will be punished severely so that it becomes an example that, Mr. Speaker, such an act should not happen within a police custody. Mr. Speaker, I know this is not an isolated issue. The issue of police brutality has been part of our national discourse for far too long. Mr. Speaker, yesterday there was no mechanism for holding police officers accountable. But, Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, with the enactment of the new constitution and the establishment of institutions of accountability, Mr. Speaker, we now have a mechanism of holding police officers into account. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, courtesy of that legal framework and the people of Kenya under their constitution, Mr. Speaker, a number of police officers who have performed, who, Mr. Speaker, have committed such heinous acts have been held into account. And, Mr. Speaker, we all remember that in 2013, there was the case, Mr. Speaker, of Mr. Martin Kome, who was killed in the same manner like Mr. Albert Ojwang. And, Mr. Speaker, he was brought, the suspect was brought to justice because of this process of accountability. We know that there is a process of accountability on the case of Baby Pendo. We also know, Mr. Speaker, that the murder of my friend Wakili Kimani in 2016, again, those who performed that act were brought to justice, Mr. Speaker. I want to promise the family of Mr. Albert Ojwang, the people of Kenya, and this august House, that, Mr. Speaker, every effort will be put, Mr. Speaker, every resource that is required, where the ministry is required to provide resources, Mr. Speaker, for these investigations, and any support the investigators will require, we will do our best to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, justice is served to this family. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of this House of Article 245 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the 245(4) of the Constitution is very clear, Mr. Speaker, that the Cabinet Secretary responsible for police service, which in this situation is myself, Mr. Speaker, may lawfully give direction to the Inspector General with respect to any matter of policy for the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, as a result of this provision, we have enough legal framework, we have policy framework, Mr. Speaker, that as the police service are under proper guidance, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that this issue of police brutality is dealt with. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to read the proviso, Mr. Speaker, to that very important provision that, Mr. Speaker, in respect, but no person, including the CS, may give direction to the Inspector General with respect to investigation of any particular offense or an offenses. Mr. Speaker, the enforcement of the law against any particular person or persons. And 3, Mr. Speaker, the employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, of dismissal of any member of National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, we all know that because of our robust constitutional order, the independence of institutions is an extremely important value in our Constitution. And as a result, Mr. Speaker, to insulate the National Police Service from interference from the executive, even the President, Mr. Speaker, is barred from giving directions to Inspector General of Police in regard to any investigations that are going on in a particular matter. So my position, Mr. Speaker, is confined in law to the place where I give either policy directions that must be put in writing under Article 245 of the Constitution, and, Mr. Speaker, also to provide support, financial support, Mr. Speaker, and other resources that the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, has also the responsibility to provide these resources through the relevant institutions. So I sympathize with the position of Honorable Eddie. Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that something has to be done. But, Mr. Speaker, he has asked a very pertinent question as to who is the culpable person through my eyes. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the Constitution did not give me the eyes to see who is culpable. Those eyes have been given to the investigatory authorities under 245 of the Constitution, and that is why you rightly invited me, but also invited the independent institutions, Mr. Speaker. I'm confident, and this is the promise I give to the people of Kenya, that we will do everything within the ministry to ensure that there is no interference, there is no shielding of any individual, there is no cover-up, Mr. Speaker, from the part of the executive, and that, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of the Police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, which again, Mr. Speaker, in Article Section 4 of the IPOA Act, have been given independence, Mr. Speaker, in all matters of investigation regarding matters related to police brutality and police Mr. Speaker, crimes committed by police officers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, should questions arise that touch on policy issues, that touch on the ministry's policy contribution, Mr. Speaker, I am more than happy to respond. But I am glad to note that, Mr. Speaker, we have with us the Inspector General of Police, who exercises that independent authority, Mr. Speaker. We have here with the IPOA, and, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of Police is going to therefore delve into the matter itself of what really happened so that this House can get the proper information. And then as a Cabinet Secretary, I will continue with my oversight responsibilities from the ministry side with policy directions and to respond to this House on those issues that are policy in nature. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, therefore, I would like to invite the Inspector General of Police to first give us really an account of what really happened. And Mr. Speaker, let it be known, not just to this House, but to the country, that in the same manner that this House is demanding accountability, is the same manner I demand accountability from the Inspector General of Police, not to myself, but to the people of Kenya through this office, because this is the office of the CS that in most cases comes to this House and many forums to respond to the issues that are happening in the Inspector General's office. The same way many of you received the news of the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang is the same way I received with a lot of pain, Mr. Speaker. And I would never want this issue to continue because I sat, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Cheruiyot, Majority Leader, sits. And I sat behind there, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Chuto sits in the last Parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, there were cases of police brutality, including of arresting our colleagues in this House. My name and my report is on the record of this House, in the hands of this House, really advocating for good behavior among the police officers. And I think, Mr. Speaker, even as we push it from the executive, I expect the same support from this house as we push on
Order,
the police side.
honorable senators.
Mr.
May
Speaker,
the CS be heard in silence. Conclude, honorable CS.
This accountability, Mr. Speaker, is not negotiable. It is not debatable. Mr. Speaker, we expect every national police officer who was involved in this matter to be brought to justice expeditiously. Mr. Speaker, may I now invite the IG to make a statement.
Senators will have an opportunity to speak. Allow Senator Sifuna, you cannot tell me no. You are trading on very dangerous ground, Senator Sifuna. Allow the IG, all the senators, you'll have an opportunity to speak. Allow the IG to take to the floor. IG, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm here before this House courtesy of the invite that was done yesterday to address the...
Honorable Senators, the minority leader and the majority leader approach the chair. Senator Sifuna, do not approach the chair. Minority leader and the majority leader to approach the chair. Order, honorable senators, please let us take our seats. Let's take our seats, honorable senators. Senator Boni, Senator Boni and Senator Fernandi. Okay, honorable senators, we can now proceed. So, honorable senators, we had the IG on his feet before we started the consultations. I'm happy the consultations are now over. The IG, you may now take the stand. Now, honorable senators, you will have an opportunity to ask questions to all these. So, IG, you may proceed, please. Senator Boni, just approach the chair. Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Now, honorable senators, this matter has affected everybody. It did not affect just a single senator. It has affected everybody. Everybody is in pain. So let us not try to show the world that it is only an individual in this chamber that is in pain. Honorable senators, the CS has made his opening statement. He'll be open to interrogation by honorable senators. Now, we may elect to pursue this matter in these two options. Having given his statement, his opening statement, we interrogate him and dispense with him. Senator Sifuna. Senator Sifuna. Honorable senators, we are not here for TikTok bites. We are here on a very serious matter. Okay? Give Senator Wambua the microphone, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest humility to all my colleagues, I plead with us, please, let us do this process with the greatest humility. Let's just do this for Albert and for Kenyans who are watching. Let's just do this. Please, I plead with us. I thank you, Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, if you look at the motion that we've just passed, it indicated that we are suspending the sittings for not more than 2 hours. We have already consumed more than 1 hour. It is your motion that you've passed, and therefore, whatever is remaining must be transacted within the remaining minutes that we have. We can decide to make full, good utilization of the few minutes remaining, or we can go back to where we've just been a few minutes ago. IG, you may proceed to take the stand.
Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, thank you very much. As I said from the beginning, I'm here courtesy of the invite to this House so that I can be able to address on these grave matters that have actually captured the attention of our country. The National Police Service deeply regrets the unfortunate events that resulted in the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in police custody. The service extends its sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased during this difficult time. In line with our commitment to accountability and transparency, the service pledges full cooperation and support to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, as they undertake a thorough and independent investigation into the matter. In view of the above, the service wishes to provide the following chronology of events leading to the arrest of Mr. Albert Ojwang. The summary of incidents. On 4th June 2025, the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, received a formal complaint from Mr. Death&Lagat, the Deputy Inspector General in charge of the Kenya Police Service. The complaint alleged that false and malicious information had been published against him in the X, that is formerly Twitter, social media platform. The posts claimed he was involved in corruption within the National Police Service. Specifically, the published information alleged that Mr. Death&Lagat had strategically placed his most trusted officers in charge of Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, in DCI desks, occurrence book, that is the OB, desks and traffic chiefs, in order to control both revenue streams and intelligence flow. Additionally, another post depicted him alongside Mr. Joseph Chirchir, who is a senior officer stationed in Nairobi Area Command, under the caption, EACC investigating top cop after purchase of $2.6 million home in Dubai, accompanied by the DIG's photograph under the phrase, Death&Lagat Mafia Police. These claims were found to be defamatory and unsubstantiated and of significant public concern, thereby necessitating immediate investigations under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act number 5 of 2018. The Director DCI immediately assigned the case to the cybercrime investigation officers, composed of Corporal Abdurrahman Hussein, Police Constable Dennis Kanyoni, Police Constable Samuel Kamau, and the Police Constable Milton Mwansi. The same day, Mr. Hilary Mutahi, Senior Superintendent of Police, who is the officer in charge Serious Crimes Unit, domiciled at the DCI, and the Police Constable Milton Mwansi visited Vigilance House, that is the police headquarters, to record the complainant's statement. To verify the claims, the investigating team wrote a letter to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, that is the EACC, to confirm whether Mr. Death&Lagat was under any investigation. Similarly, a request was made to the Communications Authority of Kenya, CAK, in writing to provide registrations, details, and preserve posts associated with the X account handle at Pixel Pioneerai, account name Pixel Pioneer. On 4th June 2025, CAK responded confirming that the handle was active and had 13,400 followers. On 5th June 2025, the EACC responded in writing confirming that Mr. Death&Lagat was not under investigation by the Commission. On the same day, the investigating team requested additional information from the CAK regarding another X account handle at Kevin Mwicheles, account name Kevin Mwicheles. The CAK responded with the registered details and relevant posts of the account. Following the evidence analysis, the investigating team concluded that, number one, the EACC had not initiated any investigations against Mr. Death&Lagat, contrary to the social media claims. Number two, CAK reports linked the post directly to the identified suspects. Number three, there existed a prima facie case warranting the arrest of the individuals responsible for the false publication, contrary to Section 22, subsection 1 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act number 5 of 2018. On 5th June 2025, the investigating team traveled to Kisii County and reported to Kenyanya Police Station and booked themselves at OB number 23/05/06/2025 at 12:55 hours. They were assisted by Police Constable Furnace, who was nominated by the Sub-County Criminal Investigations Officer to accompany the team. They arrested Kevin Moide at his homestead. He was booked at Kenyanya Police Station, file OB number 25/05/06 of 2025, and later transferred to DCI headquarters, file occurrence book number 25/05/06 of 2025. At DCI headquarters, Kevin Moide provided a statement and disclosed the involvement of 4 other individuals, one being Albert Ojwang, now the deceased, Dorcas Mawia, Douglas Maligiri, and Peter Bogwa. He also chaired their respective X-account handles. The team's analysis of Albert Ochieng's X-account revealed that he had posted similar defamatory content, and consequently, on 7th June 2025, the investigation team traveled to Homa Bay County and reported to Mawego Police Station. They were provided with 3 officers from the station by the officer commanding the station, the local OCS, to accompany them, and subsequently, Albert Ojwang was arrested at the booked file OB number 09/07/06/2025. His departure for Nairobi was recorded by the OB number 11/07/06/2025 in the same police station. The team made a stop at Narok Town for refreshments, during which the suspect requested water, a bottle of soda, and a biscuit. They arrived at Central Police Station in Nairobi at approximately 21:17 hours. At 21:24 hours, Mr. Albert Ojwang contacted his wife via mobile number 0758 08 1612 to inform her of his safe arrival. Chief Inspector Taram, the officer commanding station, that is Central Police Station, was contacted via mobile number 0722 919 880 and authorized the booking. At PC Mohammed Rashid, Hero Abdullahi booked the suspect into the cells after confirming his normal physical and mental state by the OB number 136/07/6/2025 at 21:35 hours. In the early morning of 8th June 2025, it was reported by the officers manning the report office desk at Central Police Station, Nairobi, that they found Mr. Albert Ojwang unconscious at the cells during a routine visit. He was rushed to Bagathi Hostel, booked by the OB number 09/08/06/2025 at 01:39 hours. Unfortunately, he was declared dead upon arrival. In light of the death in custody, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, was notified immediately to conduct a thorough, independent investigation. Additionally, to safeguard the integrity of the process and ensure full accountability, the following actions were undertaken by the Inspector General. Number one, the interdiction of the officer commanding Central Police Station, interdiction of the duty officer on duty in the night of the incident, the interdiction of the cell sentry on duty during the time, the interdiction of all the officers who are on duty at the report office that night, ongoing review to identify and interdict any additional officers involved at the time. On 10th June 2025, a post-mortem examination of the late Mr. Albert Ojwang was conducted at the Nairobi funeral home. The autopsy was carried out by the following team of pathologists. Number one is Dr. Media, representing the government, Dr. Joroge, representing the government, Dr. Odwul, serving as an overseer on behalf of the family, Dr. Mutuma, representing the family, Dr. Degwa, representing the independent medical legal unit. Following the examination of the body, they unanimously concluded that the cause of death was blunt force trauma as evidenced by the following findings. Number one, head injuries, including internal bleeding into the head, features of the neck pressure, suggestive of compression or strangulation, multiple superficial injuries on the upper lips, lower lips, and trunk. The postmortem was witnessed and documented by the officers from the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, the homicide team from the DCI, and the DCI forensic experts. Investigations into the matter remains ongoing under the direction of IPOA. The National Police Service remains committed to transparency, accountability, and the protection of human rights. All relevant information and the support are being provided to IPOA to ensure an impartial investigations. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. That is the information that I wish to provide to this House. Thank you.
Thank you, IG. Honorable Senators, you've heard from the CS in charge of Interior and National Administration. We've also heard the IG giving an account of how this young man met his death. Now, at this juncture, I will allow intervention from honorable senators. Now, we need to agree on how we are moving forward, because on my dashboard, I have all of you on my dashboard. Yes, sir.
Chair, I'm requesting if IPOA they can give us what is the position so far, or what they have done.
Well, so honorable senators, because this is your house. I'm here to make sure you conduct the business in an orderly manner, but this is your house. During the unfortunate incident that we've just witnessed, there was a school of thought that you'd wish to hear one witness, cross-examine that witness, dispense with that witness. Then there was another school of thought that in the interest of time, we hear all the parties that have been summoned to the Senate. And then thereafter, we allow honorable senators to shoot questions. Because I may not have a question to the honorable CS, but my question may be directed to IPOA, for example. So we may agree to hear all the parties that are before us, And then if you take to the floor, you direct the question to the party that you feel your question will adequately be addressed. Could we have IPOA on the stand?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now, IPOA, just to indicate that keep it brief.
Okay.
We are here on a limited time.
Okay.
So keep it brief so that the other parties have an opportunity to speak, and also we give ample time to the honorable senators to interact with your statement. Proceed. Yes, Senator Vero.
Me the mic. Honorable Speaker, I just need a clarification from you, Chair, whether it's possible to extend by 1 hour, because we might not finish within the 30 minutes. Is it possible? Because the questions might not find time. The Speaker has discretion and...
Standing orders, I have that power, Honorable
Thank
Senators.
you.
If you read Standing Order 38,
yes,
I have that power.
Thank you.
But I can only exercise that power if the time that we have,
yes,
I see it being utilized for the purpose that has brought us here.
Most obliged. Thank you, Speaker.
If that is proven to me, I will have no problem extending.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
will
Honorable
never
Speaker.
extend even a minute for us to argue or to fight.
Okay.
I will extend, even if it's 1 hour, 2 hours, for us to dig deep in this matter, not
Thank
for
you,
side
Honorable
shows.
Speaker.
Side shows, I will not give them even a minute. Proceed, IPOA.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and this honorable house. As I said, my name is Anne Wanjiku. I'm standing in for my chair, who is away on official duty. So I also wish to relay our condolence as the authority to the family of Mr. Ojwang. It was very unfortunate to lose such a young man, a professional with a very young family. So, Honorable Speaker, we have been mandated as IPOA to oversight police on issues of crime, criminal offenses, and the recent judgment by Mugambi J emphasized that IPOA has the sole mandate to investigate police on criminal matters. On regard to this case, Mr. Speaker, I'll give a brief of the facts that we have. From start, the DCI received a complaint from the DIG, Kenya Police, Mr. Death&Lagat, through a letter referenced DIG KPS SCC POL Volume 2, 72 dated 4th June, where he alleged that he suffered continuous false and malicious publications on X account, formerly Twitter, with the username Pixel Pioneer, and requested investigations with a view to establish the person and motive behind it. On the same day, on 4th June 2025, the complainant was referred to Serious Crime Unit based at DCI headquarters for investigations. Through forensic analysis, they were able to identify the link used by the blogger and the person linked to the account as one Kelvin Moinde. On 5th June 2025, Kevin Moinde was arrested by DCI officers from the Serious Crime Unit at Gituki area, Bomachage, Borabu, and later escorted to Nairobi. He was placed in custody at Kamkunji Police Station, Nairobi. On interrogating the suspect, the officers established that one Albert Omondi Ojwang, herein referred to as the deceased, a resident of Leader Center within Homa Bay County, was a person of interest and therefore planned to arrest him. On 7th of June 2025, at around 8 a.m., team comprising of Sergeant Sigei, Sergeant Wesley Kipkorir Kirui, PC Dennis Kenyoni, PC Milton Mwanze, and PC Boniface Rabudo went to Leader Center in Homa Bay County and arrested the deceased at around 2:30 p.m. and took him to Mawego police station, and a letter in custody via OB 10/7/6 of 2025. At around 3:54 p.m., the deceased was booked out via OB number 11/7/6 of 2025 and escorted to Nairobi, where he was booked at Central Police Station via OB number 136/7/6 of 2025 at 9:31 p.m. On 8th June 2025, according to the police signal, the deceased was rushed to Bagathi Hospital by police officers from Central Police Station, where he was declared dead and later taken to City Funeral Home. The authority learned of the death of Albert Ojwang in police custody on 8th June from the media, as well as through the police signal sent to the authority by the IG, and immediately commenced investigation. We have achieved the following tasks, Honorable Speaker. The scene was visited and documented for the purpose of preserving the integrity of the evidence, to establish the sequence of events, and identify any indicators of misconduct. Number 2, blood samples were collected from the scene, and blood spatter analysis was also done by our investigating officers. 3, all relevant police documents were collected from Central Police Station. The CCTV DVR was seized and forwarded for forensic analysis. Statements from all the 5 DCI arresting officers were recorded. A letter addressed to Bagathi Hospital requesting information on whether the deceased was treated at the facility was delivered. A reply is expected by 11th of June, that is today. The family of the deceased was contacted. Potential witnesses were also identified. The occurrence book records were obtained from Mawego Police Station. The post-mortem examination was attended, and a copy of the report was obtained. The samples drawn from the deceased body were secured and are pending onward transmission to the government chemist. The statement of one detainee held at Central Police Station was also recorded. The following are the pending tasks, Mr. Speaker: to forward the collected samples from crime scene for analysis, to forward samples collected from the deceased body for analysis, to record a statement of other potential witnesses and family members, to record the statement of the officers from Central Police Station today, and the statements were to start, the recording was to start at 9 a.m. at our offices at the headquarters, collect medical documents from Bagathi Hospital, that is the feedback, and analyze evidence, and also to generate a report on the same. The key findings: 1, that the CCTV systems located at OCS office had been interfered with. Number 2, that the post-mortem conducted on 10th June 2025 revealed the cause of death as head injury due to blunt force trauma, neck compression, and multiple subcutaneous bruises all over the body. This, Honorable Speaker, the autopsy report and our preliminary investigation rule out the theory of suicide. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The National Police Service.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is the National Police Service Commission. As you are aware, Mr. Speaker, we don't have full commission right now, but I'm standing in as the vice chair, awaiting the appointment of the rest of the commissioners to join the commission. Speaker, I don't think at this moment I'll have much to say, but first to pass condolences to the family and the entire country for the unfortunate event. Oh, sorry. My name is Edwin Kiprono Cheluket. And as I've said, Speaker, we are waiting the rest of the commissioners to join us. Mr. Speaker, I only come in on two issues, disciplinary control in the National Police Service. And the issue of disciplinary control includes actions against police officers who have been convicted of disciplinary offenses, which include such circumstances as has happened today. If the investigations lead to culpability of any officer, it is the responsibility of the National Police Service Commission to take the necessary steps and meet the necessary sentence to that culpable officer. And as you have said, the IG has already confirmed that he has interdicted 4 officers already, which is within his mandate as the Inspector General. When the investigations are over, we will be able to receive that report, and whether it will result, depending on the participation of each of the affected officers, meet the necessary sentence or meet the necessary punishment in terms of whether it is a reprimand, whether it is a warning, whether it's reduction in rank, or whether it is a dismissal. So as for us, we are waiting for the finalization of the investigations by IPOA and the support of the Inspector General and any other body that may give us information on culpability of any police officer. So at this moment, Mr. Speaker, we are waiting, and we hope the entire process will be open and transparent. Once we have all the facts, we will know which sentence to meet which officer, and which officer is supposed to get what kind of sentence. I submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The DCI.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine is to join my colleagues first in really expressing my sincere condolence to the family, the relatives and friends of the deceased, the late Albert Ojwang. It was indeed a very, very unfortunate incident. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, mine is to associate.
State your full names and then you proceed.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Mr. Mohammed Amin, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. And I would like at this juncture, Honorable Speaker, to associate myself fully with the submissions made by the Inspector General before this August House. And again, reiterate the fact that as a directorate, we are ready and willing to assist the Internal Policy and Oversight Authority in terms of the investigations in whatever way we are requested. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, those are the parties that we had invited for purposes of interacting with them on this matter of the death of the young man. I will now, this is how we're going to move, honorable senators. If you take to the floor, you will state to which party you're directing your question to. Then that party will write down your name and the question. After we are done, I will call upon the CS. He'll pick whatever has been directed towards him and respond to it. And thereafter, we will move to the rest of the parties. Senator Eddie Okech.
Mr. Speaker, my questions are two. And actually, Mr. Speaker, if you read my first question in this statement, it was very clear. And I'll repeat it for the purposes of the IG. Now that the CS has said that he has no eyes and he has no ears, The question was the circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, including a detailed account of events surrounding his fatal injury. The DIG has stated that around 23:35, Albert was booked at the Central Police Station. And he has stated that Albert was booked after an assessment had been done that he was in good condition, he was in good mental condition, as well as physical condition. The question I'm asking the IG, who beat Albert to the conditions that he was found the next day in the morning when he was taken to the hospital? What happened at that night is what we want to know. And alongside that, Mr. Speaker, the IG is on record having stated in the media that Albert hit his head on the wall. Who gave him that information? And does he still stand by that information given what IPOA said of the autopsy report? That is what I want to know. What happened in that night? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Methu. Senator Methu, no speeches.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'll be very, very direct to the point, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, having listened to the man who, in my opinion, now carries the man who was supposed to give us the evidence of the chronology of what happened, I am of this opinion, Honorable Speaker. We were told that the complainant is the Deputy Inspector General of Police. I'm of this opinion, Honorable Speaker, that from what the Inspector General of Police has said, it is my opinion that the evidence he has put together is the corrected evidence. And I'll give two examples of why I am of the opinion that the Inspector General wants to just cover his deputy. He says that, Mr. Speaker, he says that the complainant lodged a complaint on the 4th of June. There are 4 officers that he has said who were supposed to go, or rather, who were to take the statement from the Inspector General of Police. May I take you to the 5th of June when he has said 2 letters were made. One, they first received the response from the EACC on the 5th of June. They wrote another letter to the CAK on the 5th of June. On the same day, they received a letter from the CAK. Once they were satisfied that there is a case to answer, the officers went to arrest Albert. Now, Mr. Speaker, the officers arrived in Kisii at 12:55. Walking back, it is 307 kilometers from Nairobi to Kisii. If indeed they left Nairobi after they were satisfied, unless these letters were being done before government opens offices, I know that government opens offices at 8 in the morning. If they did a letter, for example, to the CAK at 8, and they got a response at maybe 8:15, if the government is so swift, then it means that they drove to Kisii in less than 3 hours. This, Mr. Speaker, cannot have happened unless there is further evidence that of how. No, we have been told that they didn't fly. We have been told that
Senator
they drove
Methu,
to Kisii.
don't engage your colleagues, just proceed.
Oh yeah, they drove all the way to Kisii. And they go to Kisii from what the Inspector General of Police has told us at 12:55 hours. Honorable Speaker, that already raises eyebrows that this evidence has been deconstructed. This is not original evidence. This is not a true record of what happened to Ojwang. And I am very sad that the Inspector General of Police, in my opinion, I'm giving my opinion, apparent who is here.
Just ask your question.
Yeah, so that is my question. My second question. And Honorable Speaker, I don't know why colleagues have a problem.
Order, honorable senators. Just one, let me just direct you. I will not take any points of order. We have just suspended the sitting. We are here not strictly enforcing the standing orders. Allow the honorable senators, you've made a basis for your question, proceed to ask the question.
You know, Mr. Speaker, we are here because we want to know what happened to Albert Ojwang. If any information can help us know what happened to Albert Ojwang, then it will help us move. Maybe finally, may I know from the Inspector General of Police, once it was established in the morning that Albert was unconscious and he was being rushed to hospital, the choice of Mbagathi Hospital instead of Kenyatta National Hospital, just a question to maybe to help in the investigation, because I've seen from Central Police Station to Kenyatta National Hospital via Hospital Road is 5.1 kilometers. To Mbagathi is 5.8 kilometers via Valley Road. Mr. Speaker, I would have imagined that there are better facilities and there are better facilities at Kenyatta National Hospital, and being a hospital that is nearer the Central Police Station, Honorable Speaker, I would have expected that is where Albert would have been taken. Thank you.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened to the IG very keenly, but I would like to know what brief, the specific brief that led to the suspension of the officers at Central Police Station.
Senator Bone.
Mr. Speaker, my first one is to CS Murkomen. Mr. Speaker, patriots in this country fought against detention without trial, and CS Murkomen, I assure you, they are going to fight against extrajudicial killings, especially within police custody. The question is this, CS. The Deputy Inspector of Police, Mr. Death&Lagat, went against the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, went against the provisions of the National Police Act, specifically Section 17, and in general, the Leadership and Integrity Act. You, as a member of the National Security Council, where you sit together with the IG, both of you are present here. Why have you found it difficult to advise the necessary authorities that Death&Lagat be dismissed from service? My next question, Mr. Speaker, is to CS, not CS, to the IG Kanja. IG Kanja, Kenyans who know you, we have a lot of respect for you because you are the officer, unknown to some people, who defeated the terrorists at Dusit 2 Hotel. We know you as a serious police officer. We've been wondering why these killings under you, and now that Lagat is the person we have found to be who he is, we can now very well see who has been undermining you. I therefore want to appeal to you. Tell this country, a spokesman by the name of Mushiri Nyaga, the police spokesman, he misrepresented material facts. He attempted to conceal this killing. He went and interfered with the circumstances of the crime by stating that Omondi Ojwang hit his head on the wall. IG Kanja, why have you not arrested him? He has information which in his statement under arrest will help to point fingers at who gave him this deliberate statement so as to do what I have said above. Finally, Mr. Speaker, back to Kanja and/or Amin. IPOA has now told us the names of the officers from DCI who went to Migori to go and arrest Ojwang. Can you tell the country how it came to pass that Ojwang was moved all the way, Ojwang, that Ojwang was moved all the way, hundreds of kilometers, contrary to the provisions of normal procedure that would have required that he be taken to the nearest police station in the jurisdiction where he committed, quote unquote, the said crime, and that if he needed to be moved, a magistrate needed to give permission for him to be moved all the way to Nairobi. Could you, IG, tell us why you have found it difficult to arrest these officers? And their names are a little bit disturbing. You tell us why you have not arrested them? Because they're the only ones who were with this young man from the last time the parents saw him well and alive up to the time they came to Nairobi for the country to be told that the young man was dead. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal to CS Murkomen. CS Murkomen, the National Security Council, where you sit, is charged with promoting and guaranteeing security of the country. And you have the audacity to come and face the Parliament of Kenya and tell Kenyans that you don't see, you don't know. CS Murkomen, please, for the respect of this young man, you are yet to grow a child up to the age of 31. Can you immediately resign? You are not fit to be in that docket. Please, I beg you, it is not personal. And if you think I'm joking, you are a well-read man. You know that in 2011, in Tunisia, a street hawker by the name of Mohamed Baouzi was killed. And people came into the streets, and the government of President Ben Ali was overthrown. You truly don't know what you're playing with. Please resign. You cannot be an inspiration to be in cabinet.
Senator Majayo.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Swala langu la kwanza ninakwenda kwa Inspector Generali. Inspector Generali, nataka atueleze wazi kabisa ni kwa sababu gani kulikuwa kuna lazima ya kwamba huyu mtu aliyeshikwa kule Homa Bay, huyu Ojwang. Sorry my brother Kajwang. Huyu Ojwang aliyeshikwa kule kwa Homa Bay kuchukua safari ya masaa mengi kama hayo mpaka Nairobi, kulikuwa na sababu gani hapo katikati ya kwamba ni lazima aje Nairobi? Swala la kwanza. La pili, nataka kujua ni kwa sababu gani alipokuwa amefika Nairobi kulikuwa na wale mapolisi waliotangulia kuingia ndani ya cell na kuharibu zile CCTV ziko pale ndani, ili chochote kitakachofanyika pale ndani, atakayeingia na atakayetoka hataweza kuonekana katika ile kamera. Ni nani waliofanya kitendo kama hicho ambacho kiliweza kupoteza ile CCTV isiweze kuona ni nani aliyeingia ndani ya ile cell ambayo Ojwang alikuwa hapo. Na hatimaye mwisho, ile CCTV ambayo ingetusaidia wale watu waliingia pale ndani, wewe mwenyewe ukiwa kipaumbele, ukisema ya kwamba pengine huyu alijigonga mwenyewe akafa. Nataka kukuambia ukweli wa mambo ni kwamba hakuna binadamu ambaye yuko ndani ya cell anaweza kujigonga mwenyewe mpaka akajiua unless alikuwa na akili punguani. Kwa hiyo nataka kujua wale walioingia, wale mapolisi walioingia pale ndani na wakamuua Ojwang ni kina nani? Tunataka kujua. Asante Bwana Speaker.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have followed the presentation from IPOA, who are the constitutionally charged body with investigating such incidents. However, I found their answer to be a bit too vague, Mr. Speaker, because of no specific reference to certain critical things that the country wished to know at this particular time. It will help this country, Mr. Speaker, to appreciate if, in the course of their investigation, they have been able to establish, because you've seen the list of the interdicted officers, the OCS, the officers who are on duty, Mr. Speaker, and now this morning, IPOA has just listed the names of the officers who went all the way to Homa Bay to pick Mr. Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, from IPOA's records and the investigation, wouldn't it have been beneficial if the representative, the vice chair from IPOA, would have let this House and the country know whether, in accordance to the investigation, by the time Albert Ojwang arrived at Central Police Station, what was his state, Mr. Speaker? Second and most importantly, where are these officers, both the OCSs, Mr. Speaker, not both actually, the DCI officers that picked him and the officers who interacted with Albert Ojwang in the course? Have they recorded their statements, Mr. Speaker? And by when do we expect that we will see, Mr. Speaker, the conclusion of this investigation, the closure of the file, forwarding to DPP for people to be charged, Mr. Speaker? If I could get those three specific items, Mr. Speaker, then I will appreciate and know that for sure something is being done to give justice to the family of this deceased young man. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, for the record, the name Ojwang in Luo means abandoned, neglected, and raised in hardship. And clearly, you can see it has come to be true in the case of Albert that we are talking about today. Mr. Speaker, can the Inspector General of Police withdraw and apologize in this House for the assertions that he made through the formal communication by the National Police Service that Ojwang killed himself? Mr. Speaker, in my culture, suicide brings stigma, and the IG of police has brought untold suffering, stigma, to the family of Ojwang by purporting that this gentleman killed himself when the autopsy clearly reveals that he was killed in the hands of police. Can you direct the IG to apologize and withdraw on the floor of this House on the strength of the autopsy report? Mr. Speaker, secondly, there are many good officers in the National Police Service. We must agree. All the members of Senate here have one or two police officers assigned to them. And I think generally they are people of good conduct. But there are few bad apples, Mr. Speaker, that need to be fumigated. And that is where the National Police Service comes in, and the CS for Interior. has a CS done any policy directives in writing pursuant to Article 245 to deal with those bad elements? Mr. Speaker, further, if you pursue the proximate cause theory, it was a complaint by Death&Lagat that led to the arrest of this young man in Lida, in Mawego, and that led to his death. Mr. Speaker, why is Death&Lagat still in office when it is his complaint that triggered the chain of actions and reactions that led to the death of this young man? Can the Inspector General tell us why? Can the CS tell us why? Because you cannot be in office still having authority and power, and you are the person who is being investigated. Mr. Speaker, I said there are many good police officers. The stepping aside of Death&Lagat is not going to lead to the collapse of the police force. And Mr. Speaker, what Kenyans want to see is Death&Lagat not just stepping aside, but he should also go to a police station and record a statement and have his fingerprints taken, because there is no way you are going to carry out an investigation without addressing the proximate cause of the chain of events that led to the death of this young man. Mr. Speaker, we have been told that there are other suspects that were mentioned. There was Kevin, who was taken to Kenya and ultimately, I think, ended up in Kamukunji. What is the status? Are they still alive? Kevin, Dorcas, Peter, Douglas, Albert is dead. What about the other 4 that were adversely mentioned? Can the IG assure this House? And in fact, Mr. Speaker, we might need to issue habeas corpus so that they can be produced and we confirm that they're alive, because one of the co-accused is right now lying at the city mortuary. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the CS has pointed us to Article 245. And Mr. Speaker, the CS is an illustrious former member of this House. I have a lot of personal respect for him. We are friends, we are age mates, and I believe we operate at the same intellectual bandwidth. But I fail to recognize when he becomes the cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker. Because the things he spoke for, the things he stood for while in this House continue to happen unabated under his watch. He was very articulate and eloquent when talking about the killings in Elgeyo Marakwet, in Baringo. They are still happening today. He was very articulate one time when the police came to the presence of Parliament, Mr. Speaker. He moved this House to suspend its sittings and the Speaker ordered the police to exit the presence of Parliament. That is a gentleman who's today the Cabinet Secretary. When our colleagues, Senator Malala, Senator Lelegwe, Senator Lagat, were arrested on the eve of an important debate, the then Senator Murkomen was passionate, articulate, eloquent, citing the relevant provisions of the Constitution, and moved this House to adjourn until the rights of our senators were observed. Could the CS tell us? I know he might not tell us what happens when you become a cabinet secretary, because obviously there seems to be a metamorphosis from positive to negative. But can he tell us whether he has issued any directions in writing, as he had referred to Article 245? And he tables them before this House and before the relevant committee, whether he has given policy guidelines, prudential advice on extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearance, violation of rights of protesters, violations of rights of citizens, the emergence of vigilantes, and non-state actors who are abducting people in this country. That is part of his responsibility. Can he confirm that he has lived to that responsibility? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Asante sana Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kifungu cha 239 cha katiba ya Kenya inasema vitengo vya usalama ni vitatu: Kenya Defense Forces ama jeshi, National Intelligence ama majasusi, na polisi. Na inasema mamlaka hizi tatu katika hicho kifungu ziko chini ya wananchi, yani under civilian authority. Sasa mimi nataka kuuliza, wale walimkamata Albert Ojwang, wale walimweka Albert Ojwang katika seli, Ni mafunzo gani walipata ya kwamba ukiwa ndani ya seli unaweza kufanya chochote kwa yule mtu ambaye wewe mamlaka yako iko chini yake? Nataka kuuliza Inspector General, nataka kuuliza waziri anayehusika, kama katika training yao hawa polisi, are they taught kuhusu constitution, kuhusu being under civilian authority? Wanafundishwa hii? Ya pili, mawakili wote ambao washawahi kusimamia wateja wao ambao wanashtakiwa na kesi za jinai, ukienda kwa police station pale mbele, Bwana Speaker, ukitaka kuona mteja wako yoyote, ni lazima ujiandikishe kama wakili. Ni lazima useme ni nani unamuona. Sasa mimi nataka kujua siku ile Albert Ojwang alishikwa. Na kawaida ukiingia pale vitu vyako vyote vinatolewa, ID yako, kila kitu inawekwa mahali kando. Wewe unaingia kwa seli peke yako na nguo zako. Swali nataka kuuliza, polisi watuambie, Inspector General, walikuwa watu wangapi katika ile seli? Kwa sababu huyu mtu tumeambiwa amepigwa ama amekufa kwa sababu ya maumivu aliyopata. Sasa either alipigwa na wale wenzake ambao walikuwa wako hapo ndani, ama alipigwa na polisi ambao walipata nafasi ya kuingia. Kila mtu ambaye anaingia pale lazima ajiandikishe. Tunataka kujua IG wa polisi, ile kitabu ambayo ukitaka kuingia kwa seli unaandikishwa, kiko wapi? Na ni askari gani walipewa nafasi ya kuingia? Na ni watu wangapi walikuwa ndani ya seli ya Albert Ojwang? Haya maswali tunataka yajibiwe. Wakenya wanataka kujua ni nini iliendelea usiku huo ili asubuhi huyu kijana awe amefariki. Asante, Bwana Speaker.
Senator Mogeni.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the people who have appeared before us this morning have sworn, I believe Mr. Amin swore through a Quran, and the others lifted a Bible. And when I had read a Quran, sometimes the Quran strongly condemns murder. And the Bible says, Murkomen, you are Christian, it says, thou shalt not kill. So this matter is painful. This is an extraordinary sitting. Mr. Speaker, the people who started the events that led to the murder of this young man, who is the only son of a fairly elderly parent, who are from the DCI. And when he was picked from Homa Bay, I believe he was first taken to DCI. And Mr. Amin, I want to look at you, and you are a Muslim, and you have children. All of you have children. I also have children. Nobody will have any joy when you see somebody's son die.
Honorable Mogeni, the 2 hours have lapsed. I will therefore extend for a further 45 minutes.
Thank you. So, Mr. DCI, I believe that at the DCI offices, you have CCTV cameras. So if we need to connect the events before we end up at Central Police Station, Mr. Speaker, the life of Ojwang stopped. We can also stop everything we are doing to get to the bottom of this matter. If we had John, Mr. Speaker, can we get the CCTV cameras that will track the movement of this young man from the DCI headquarters all the way to central police stations, if we sincerely want Kenyans to know the truth, so that we know whether this guy was taken to central police station dead or alive? So, Mr. Speaker, we want this to be an extraordinary session. If we have to go to the bottom of the truth, Can the DCI tell us this afternoon, since you have sworn by the Quran, that you can get us the CCTV cameras that will show us the state this late man was when he left DCI, assuming that the CCTVs cameras at Central Police Station were tampered with? One. Number two, this is to IG now. This was an ordinary suspect, one IG, booked at Central Police Station. I want you to, and Murkomen, you are a lawyer, you are a colleague. And we know you have a wife and you have children. I also have children, Murkomen. So we are here pained for what the police have done. Murdering a Kenyan in a police cell. Somebody's only child. How heartless can you guys be in the police force? So we want to know why. Why was this young man, Ojwang, booked alone in a cell at Central Police Station? If this was not covered up. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this person from IPOA, you are a vice chair. The chairman of IPOA knows that we are investigating a matter where a Kenyan has been murdered in a police cell. A safe haven for any criminal. When you go to a police cell, lawyers, we know it's a safe haven. Mr. Speaker, I want to know this afternoon, where is this chairman of IPOA? Mr. Speaker, where is the chairman of IPOA? When we have adjourned every business to address this matter, what is that so important business that he can travel out of the country instead of coming to the house to give us the answers that we are seeking? Finally, Mr. Speaker, this is to CS Murkomen. Because you are a colleague, we were with you here last session. You know chapter 14 as a total 10 articles, 10 of them. You know that Article 240 establishes the National Security Council. If you read Article 4, Article 240 is about Article 3. It says the council shall exercise supervisory control. Supervisory is a verb, an action word, a to-do word. So it says the National Council shall supervise all the police units. So how can you come here, CS, this morning to tell us that the government of the Republic of Kenya has no eye, can say nothing? When the Constitution commands the police units to respect human rights, the rule of law, and fundamental freedoms. Fundamental freedoms demand that if I'm a suspect, arrest me, take me to a police station. If there is a crime I've committed, take me to a court of law. So I want to ask you, CS, this morning, do you want to tell us that the government of the day, led by the Commander-in-Chief, has got no supervisory powers over the police force in Kenya? Is that what you are telling the Senate of the Republic of Kenya this morning? Those are my questions.
The Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I did want to join my colleagues in addressing this matter. And Mr. Speaker, the report that the DCI officers who brought Albert Ojwang to Nairobi, and the report that he was safe and his body was okay, was of good health. I want to ask IPOA, because they have agreed with that report. And also they have made a conclusion at the end of the day that Albert Ojwang did not commit suicide. They have already concluded to that bit. So I want to ask IPOA, how truthful is the report that you have? Because maybe I saw from the media that there is a CCTV at the entrance of the Central Police Station. There is a CCTV also at the reception. All those CCTV cameras destroyed, that you have nothing completely to explain whether Albert Ojwang came when he was sound and safe. And maybe whether you are correlating the traveling from Homa Bay to Nairobi and to DCI, the way my colleague has explained here. So, because if you're investigators, you know, you cannot give us half-baked information. Just tell us exactly what has been happening. And because you are vice chair, you know, the chairman could really be the person to pin down. But because you are the vice chair, there are some things maybe even you have not privy to what is happening. Where is the chairman? Where is he that he cannot attend this important session? That the Senate of the Republic of Kenya has stopped all business to handle this matter since yesterday, Mr. Speaker. We spent actually the whole afternoon yesterday, today morning, we are ready to stop any business. I was to travel actually to my county. I have suspended everything that I was to do, either personal or official duties, so that we can handle this matter. Mr. Speaker, you can even decide we'll do it even in the afternoon. We are not in a hurry. We want to stop this thing once and for all. We want to help Kenyans. We want to help the government of Kenya to function. We can only help if we deal with the officers working for the government. Maybe the person at the helm might not be aware of what is happening, but we can only deal with issues affecting Kenyans if we handle officers of government to task. Let them explain. If the officer will say, I was given the authority to say this or to do this by another officer who is there than him, we want to go that level, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, my colleagues agree with me that we can suspend all business. Actually, the order number 9 was a report from liaison officer. Mr. Speaker, I'm not ready to move that order until we get clear information from this team which is here. We are not in a hurry. Let the Senate of Kenya, which I'm serving in this 13th Parliament, be known as the Senate which stopped extrajudicial killings. Mr. Speaker, 4 years ago we lost a very young man, not a sniper, Daniel Mudeini, sniper from Meru. Up to date, that guy has never been buried because we are waiting for investigations to be concluded. We lost another gentleman, Mwendambijewe, in 2016. Up to date, we have no traces of Mwendambijewe. Sniper is lying at the morgue in Maua Hospital. Still, we said we shall not bury him as a Meru community until we get justice for Sniper and his family. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't think if I'm a senator representing a community and then we come and rush over issues here, then we are doing the wrong thing, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can even resign as a senator for Meru if any business that we do here, we don't do it conclusively. I can tender my resignation. If at all we are doing things covering, and then the officers will go, no conclusion. And Mr. Speaker, I'm really at the pains because of those two guys from Meru. Now the case of Homa Bay, I mentioned again, Homa Bay is breeding. They lost an MP the other day. They have lost another young soul. Mr. Speaker, we must get these things right, Mr. Speaker. And when we are consulting with my friend, your majority leader, he is also at the pains. He wants to see everything. Kila kitu acha ituchimbue kwa hii msakato saa hii, Bwana Speaker. Asante sana, Bwana Speaker.
Senator Wambua, Senator Mazai and Senator Majority Leader just approach the bench. Senator Wambua, you may proceed.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first
Just proceed, Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to register my displeasure want to register my displeasure, Mr. Speaker, with the absence of the IPOA chairman in these proceedings. And I will say this for the record, that IPOA is perhaps the weakest link when it comes to investigating crimes committed by police officers. You have failed this country. The absence of your chairman in a proceeding as important as this is just a testimony of how casually you do your work. To hear that the IPOA chairman is in Arusha, undertaking whatever business he's undertaking, when this matter is being transacted in the Senate, is a shame. Now let me go to the questions that I want to ask. One, to the IG. Was Central Police Station the first police station for Albert to be booked upon arrival in Nairobi? Is that the place where he was first booked? Secondly, IG, did you tell us on record and under oath that the OCS Central Police Station confirmed that Albert was in good physical health at the time of being booked in the police cell? For us, if that question is answered, IG, then it will lead to a lot of other conclusions. Was this man okay when he was being booked in the police cell? But IG, who interfered with the CCTV cameras at the Central Police Station on the night in question? And you cannot tell us you don't know. Because if you don't, there's a big problem. Who exactly interfered with the CCTV cameras and for what reason? Number 4, to the CID boss. What is the fate of the arresting officers? Where are they? Where are your arresting officers? We have been told that the officers that just booked in a suspect at the Central Police Station have been suspended. We've been told they have recorded statements. What about the arresting officers? Where are they? You have given us their names. Are they still in service? Perhaps pursuing the next suspect. Where are they? And it is at that point, Mr. Speaker, that I must put it straight to the CID boss. That Kenyans have a big problem with officers from your unit. A big problem. In fact, I will say it on record in the Senate, that the operational tiff between your officers and regular police officers is a source of serious concern to the security of this country. You cannot tell us that officers who just received a suspect have been suspended from service, and that the officers who did the arrest and transported a suspect all the way from Awego to Nairobi, we don't know where they are. To CS Murkomen, as I conclude, you are our colleague. So much so that we actually even have you in one of our social forums where we discuss our social issues as colleagues. My brother, when the country was faced with similar circumstances while you served with us here, you took a very firm position. I remember the day when you seated there, really, really digging into the character of then Regional Commissioner Natembeya, because you believed that he was doing certain things that were not right for Kenyans. To hear you today, Senator C.S. Murkomen, say that you have no eyes on matters security is a big, big betrayal to what we as leaders stand for. It's actually a shame. C.S. Murkomen, you can and you must do better. On this one, you can and you must do better. You must be the first person demanding answers before we even bring you here. You must be the first person even demanding that aids within the senior police officer's role. Now, Speaker, as I conclude my submission, this matter, and I have seen you have called our leaders. I don't know, maybe you consulted on the issue that I want to raise. Now, Speaker, this matter is so grave and so important that we cannot limit time for this. If it means that we spend the whole day today here dealing with this matter, so be it. So be it. A life has stopped inside a police station. For the first time, I'm now being confronted with admissions from police officers that a police station is a scene of crime. And that crime is murder. Mr. Speaker, this is a serious issue. If people are being killed in police stations, we cannot say that we are rushing to other things. As Senator Manyora said, we have suspended a lot of things. I'm supposed to be attending a party PG, but I say no, this is important. This is important. The Speaker, give senators, colleagues, a chance to just deal with this matter. And if need be, if we need CCTV camera to be played, to just get to the bottom of this matter, the Speaker, so be it. I submit.
Senator Veronica.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I want to thank the CS for coming in promptly to respond to issues that arise on your desk. Issues of serious urgency and serious emergency in our country. Honorable CS, I want to take you to Article 244 before I get into the questions, the specific questions of this matter. The Article 224 lays down the objects and the functions of the National Police Service. Honorable CS, I'm very concerned that, number one, under Article 244, sub-articles C and D, the National Police Service is supposed to comply with constitutional standards of human rights and fundamental freedoms of Constitution 2010, and D, to train staff to the highest possible standards of competence and integrity, and to respect human rights and fundamental freedoms and dignity. And I want to remember the police officers who served during our days in the university. Honorable CS, we used to attend the Christian Union in main campus. We would go back to Parklands at night. The people who would escort us in the night were police officers. Where are the police officers upholding the constitutional standards of human rights and fundamental freedoms? And what are you doing as a means of policy to guide and help the police service to comply with Article 244 C and D? And a few years ago, there was a police reform program which was being managed by Laikipia University and maybe other universities. Is that program still on? Because I sense the police officers may not be understanding what to do with suspects when they arrest them. Are you going to revise your management strategy on how you reform the handling of suspects from the time of detection of crime, arrest, placement into custody, bail and board process, and how do you show accountability to Kenyans? What are you going to do following these very distressing incidents of Albert Ojwang losing his life in a police suspect? Until when that suspect is produced in court, how are Kenyans going to check? What document are they going to be checking? The next time somebody is arrested in a police station, are they going to sign something that they are not beaten? By the time they exit that police station within the 24 hours, what document is that suspect going to be given to show to Kenyan a form of accountability that all has been well when they are arrested? That's one question. And then I come to the specific questions that beg answers and which Kenyans want to hear. Who deleted Albert's X account? And when was it deleted? And what was the reason for that X account being deleted? IPOA, you are the agency investigating this specific aspect. Initially, the account was being investigated for posting something against the DIG. But when investigations commenced and Albert eventually lost his life, who deleted Albert's X account? IPOA has given us a narration of evidence here that the CCTV at Central Police Station was interfered with. My colleagues have asked who interfered with the CCTV. I ask the next question. Was there a backup of what was in the CCTV? There must have been a backup somewhere. Can that backup be recovered so that the incidents of what happened in that cell can be made known to Kenyans? And finally, how long will these investigations take? I know IPOA was given 7 days by DPP through a public announcement. Within the 7 days, I believe this is the second day. How long will it take for justice to be granted to the family of Albert? And I want to say finally, CS, I hope you, together with the team that you are with here, you will have the boldness, because you've done a good thing to offer condolences to the family. And we deeply feel with the family. And this is Senate's way of saying we are deeply sorry for what has happened to this family. I hope with your team, the same level of hierarchy, you will sit down with Albert's family, and not too long from now, to say how deeply sorry you are for the loss of this young man, and that after sitting with this family, the National Police Service will take full responsibility for this loss, and will be able to indemnify this family, not that it will bring Albert back to life, but as a way of showing your remorse. And for the police officers in all the stations, this is a different nation. When a suspect walks into your station, you must safeguard the dignity of the life of every Kenyan. Sometimes people are suspected, yet the court acquits them because they did not commit any crime. So when you're in your stations, you are accountable for the lives of the people who are placed under you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the whole country is watching today this proceeding. I know this is a matter that is very serious. Personally, I should have had a function in my county, Mr. Speaker. Through your instruction, I had to cancel my function today in Isiolo County to be here to listen to this proceeding and also contribute to it. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask IG and the team. We have been told that DIG wrote to DCI to carry out investigation. Can we be provided with all documentary evidence from the letter written by DIG, the result of CA, the result of autopsy, all the findings, all those documents must be submitted to this House for thorough interrogation. That is number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, there is tendency of actually, in the case of cybercrime, where individuals commit crime, they are transported all the way from where the crime is committed to Nairobi, where taxpayers' money is spent, police officers are sent, vehicles are fueled. I have a case in my county, Mr. Speaker, a young girl by the name of Samira. She actually was arrested in Mombasa, brought to Nairobi to write a statement. From Nairobi, she was taken to Isiolo to write a statement. She has a young baby. Mr. Speaker, her telephones were taken 3 months ago. Up to now, they were not returned to her. Is there a law that says when somebody is arrested, for example, in Mombasa, she should not be tried there? She should be brought to Nairobi or taken wherever police want to take them. That is number one. Mr. Speaker, I am not happy with the position given by IPOA. Of course, they have had their findings. What action or instructions have they given out as far as their preliminary investigation is concerned? Mr. Speaker, I think this is a very serious matter as far as cybercrime is concerned, where individuals actually politically also fix each other. And this is a matter I would ask CS Murkomen, even if it means actually amending the law that governs cybercrime, something has to be done so that we correct that situation where our kids, where politicians also fix each other, that the law must govern that particular act properly. I thank you.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, mine I think is very short. I want to ask one question to the the IG, and I think that it has been asked many times. But on the IG, there is a police station in every part of this country. What has necessitated people to be driven for 370 kilometers? You don't trust your officers in the other places? Two, did the DIG who complained about Albert write a statement? And if yes, where is the statement? Can it be submitted to this council? Four, the IG, Kenyans seek protection from police when they have a problem. They run to police stations. The same police stations is where people die now. Can you advise Kenyans where we can run to for security? I want you to tell these Kenyans that now that the police stations are not safe, then where do you go next? Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Haji.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to start by sending my condolences to the family and friends of the late Albert Ojwang. What happened to him is indeed a sad incident, and it should not happen to any Kenyan. Any life, one life, is a life too many when we lose. And Mr. Speaker, sir, today is a special day. It is quite unprecedented that we have having this special sitting to discuss the death of a Kenyan. And I hope that this is a precedent that we are going to set as this Senate and as a country in the whole. Because, Mr. Speaker, sir, where I come from, and I have to relate the matters happening to this country to where I come from and to the people that I represent. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we discuss the death of Albert Ojwang and the circumstances that led to his death, and I would like the Senator for Homa Bay, Senator Kajwang, and Senator Beatrice Ogola to try and understand where I'm coming from. In no way am I trying to disrespect this very sitting today here. But I would like to see some level of fairness in this country. I would like to see that the life of any Kenyan, anywhere, is important to all of us. Mr. Speaker, sir, last week, the Senator of Turkana stood on the floor of this House with a statement inquiring about the death of 40 fishermen who were killed and left in the lake, and 4 other individuals who were detained and then killed thereafter. And not a single senator requested for a special sitting for those 44 individuals. Not a single senator. Not this country begged for questions about the death of those individuals. Not the main media, not even on the social media. So it begs the question, are there some Kenyans who are more equal than others? Are we to believe that we are brothers and sisters or cousins in that matter? Or maybe there are cousins who are more equal than others? Or is a death of a young man such as Albert Ojwang an opportunity for political expediency? Whether on the main media or the social media? And you know, Mr. Speaker, people will label me whatever they want to label me. They would say I am part of the system, that I am a brother to so-and-so. But Mr. Speaker, I was a patriot of this country before I came to the Senate. I was a patriot before any of my relatives living is serving in any part of this government. I was a patriot, and I have personally fought for this country. I have personally put my life on the line for this country. So whether I'm related to anybody, it is not the issue here. The issue is, as a country, can we be so sincere to each other and agree that we are brothers and sisters? Or tell us of certain regions that there are people who are more brothers than we are. And Mr. Speaker, when I sit here and I listen to senior citizens, senior senators speak on the floor of the House, and then remind this country of the Arab Spring, I have tremendous respect for Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale. I have tremendous respect for him. He's a leader in this House. I have tremendous respect for Senator Wambua. But they both mentioned the Arab Spring. Senator Wambua yesterday, today Senator Boni Khalwale, reminding us as a country of the Arab Spring, reminding the youth of this country about the Arab Spring. What happened subsequently after the Arab Spring? Any of those countries, mention them. Have they benefited in any way? Constantly reminding the youth of this country that you have an option, and that option is the Arab Spring. Look at the Arab Spring. Take an example from them and superimpose it on this country. Mr. Speaker, sir, that is very unfortunate. We shouldn't be going that way. Mr. Speaker, sir, we must remember that any seeds that we sow today, we will reap the results not far too long. If we want to sow the seeds of disconnect, of inequality, of some regions being better than others, it will be very unfortunate, and we will continue in that path. I would want to beg this House. I have a case of 6 youths in Garissa, 6 youths between the age of 18 to 21, who were brutally murdered on the road in Garissa, brutally murdered, execution style, told to bend down, kneel down, and shot in the head, in the back of the head. Until today, it's been 2 years. Until today, we don't know if it's whether it is a security apparatus who killed them or it was a criminal organization that killed them. We don't know. We don't know. But we've not had, not the human rights organization, not the civil society, not the media houses, have ever decided to pursue justice for those 6 people. If this continues, some of us, or some senators here, will feel disconnected from the rest of the country. And we will not feel for the pain of some people, which will turn us to less of a human. We all believe that a life, any life, is important. And I want to beg this House, if this is the precedence we are setting, let us keep it to this. Let's not use this as a political opportunity to get mileage for whatever matter. The next death of any Kenyan, let's have a special sitting and discuss the circumstances to the death of that Kenyan. Mr. Speaker, sir, going to my question, I would like to ask the member of IPOA, representing IPOA today here. She had mentioned the issue of CCTV, and I know many senators have asked a question about the CCTV. And I was a bit curious to know how many of our police stations have CCTV, and how many of those cameras are placed within the cells of those police stations. And if in that particular case, in the case of Albert Ojwang, were those CCTVs working even before IPOA decided that they were interfered with? And my next question is to the IG. IG had stated here that when they moved the deceased Albert Ojwang from the cell to Magathi police station, he was declared dead upon arrival. Was he alive at the time he was moved from the station? That is something we missed in his submission. My final question to the IG, I'm just wondering out loud, why do the police arrest people in certain areas and transport them to Nairobi for investigation? Does it mean that with the devolved system that we have now, the DCI or the police cannot conduct investigations at where the person has been arrested? Could you elaborate on this issue as well? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Newt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll be very fast in my questions. Mr. Speaker, I would like to first remind both the CS and the IG that the reason why the Kenya Police Service is Kenya Police Service today and not Kenya Police Force, why that transformation happened, Mr. Speaker, was because there was need to establish a friendliness between members of the police service and the members of the public. And what we are seeing here, Mr. Speaker, is that members of the public now increasingly will find the police very hostile, and they may not even be able to collect information from members of the public. Why I say this, Mr. Speaker, is because the speed at which this particular complaint against Albert Ojwang was executed, the investigation, a mere 3 days and every investigation had been done and arrests made. Mr. Speaker, this then shows that the police and those serving in this service have become very special people. And Mr. Speaker, when we are talking of, somebody who, Ojwang, whose only crime was making allegations on social media, that is X, and investigations were carried out in that type of speed, while we have Ojwang who is now lying dead, and the police have actually no substantive results of this investigation. They have not been able to indicate who committed this particular crime. Mr. Speaker, we must ask ourselves very many questions. Now, Mr. Speaker, the IG should tell us why Ojwang was held in a cell alone. Because the problem that we have here of identifying who committed this crime, we have it because there is no particular eyewitness to what was happening, what happened in that particular cell, if this murder happened in the cells. And so, Mr. Speaker, the IG must tell us why Ojwang was held all alone in a cell. Because had he been held with other cellmates, then of course we would be able to get information from the other cellmates that they would have been with. My question to the CS is, Honorable Murkomen, does Death&Lagat have to be in office? Would the whole police service crumble just because Death&Lagat steps aside? We have seen even more senior people stepping aside to allow for investigations. And the CS Murkomen should tell us why Death&Lagat has to be in office. Unless Death&Lagat is so important that everything else would come to a standstill if he steps aside. Death&Lagat must step aside so that Kenyans can have faith in the investigations that will be done by IPOA and any other body, Mr. Speaker. Now, the IG has said a very interesting thing, Mr. Speaker. We have also been guests of the state. I have never ever seen any examination carried out on somebody arrested to establish their physical or mental wellness. So the IG kindly tell us, since when did the police start assessing the mental well-being and physical well-being of people before admitting them to the cells? Because this has never ever happened. And so the IG is economical with the truth. Let him tell this House when this started happening. Mr. Speaker, the crime being perpetrated, we have crime being perpetrated right in a police station. And that is interference with CCTV cameras. So if the police are the people that are supposed to investigate crime and even arrest criminals, and there are criminals within, then IG must tell us where our safety then lies. CS Murkomen. Senator Wambua said you can and you should do better. And I agree totally with him that you say you have no eyes, CS, while we have seen you recently having very sharp eyes on political comments made by people, and you have been actually calling for the arrest of people making political statements that are not suitable to you. How can you have no eyes when a young man has lost his life in the hands of the police? So I think we need to see a more serious CS, Mr. Speaker. The IG must tell DIG Lagat, if you do not have a skin thick enough to be able to tolerate public criticism, then you have no business being in public service. Because we cannot believe that we are here now debating about the death of a young man just because he made comments on social media. And in any case, because CS Murkomen is a lawyer, he should be able to tell us, because some of us believe that this was a civil matter and not a criminal matter. Why was Ojwang arrested and transferred again all the way to Nairobi? And the DCI should tell us why
whether there is a DCI office in Homa Bay, because that is where all these investigations should have happened. If he doesn't tell us, then we can conclude that Death&Lagat had then instructed, but that he wanted to see Ojwang before anything else. Otherwise, this crime should have been investigated in Homa Bay. There is a DCI office in Homa Bay.
There is an intervention from the majority leader.
Okay.
You will still proceed.
Speaker,
just take a seat.
Mr. Speaker, it is now 12:57, and I'm worried because we are running out of time before we can hear any single response from the parties that are before us. Will it be in order?
Senator Fernandi, this is not a point of order. It is a point of intervention. I was very clear. Proceed. Just proceed, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, whatever I will say will benefit many people, including Senator Cherargei. So I don't know why, Mr. Speaker, because I want to request, Mr. Speaker, that because there are many of our colleagues that have not had an opportunity to speak on such an important matter, that we transact this business in the afternoon as well, with your permission. I know there is a technicality, Mr. Speaker. I know that there is a technicality because the motion lapsed at some point. But if you so permit, Mr. Speaker, we could still come back with a motion in the afternoon at 2:30 so that we revert back and we listen to the statements. That's my humble pleading to you, Mr. Speaker, because you are out of time.
Now, honorable senators, it is now 1 minute to 1 p.m., which is the time for the House to adjourn. Looking at the business that still lies ahead of us, we certainly cannot conclude in less than a minute. I will therefore be amenable to allow this debate to proceed at 2:30. And therefore, at this juncture, honorable senators, we shall resume normal sitting of the Senate. We proceed to adjourn and then come back at 2:30. Now, honorable senators, we are now back to the normal session with all the standing orders in full force. Honorable senators, it is now 1 p.m., time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until later today, Wednesday the 11th of June 2025 at 2:30 p.m. I thank you.
Glovo is the delivery app for all. Grandkids want kitu tasty? Order a Glovo or treat na kukuchoma. Mageskibao. Order more snacks. Umesahau house keys.